Anyway, Daryl and Andrea go have another look for Sophia. They don't find her. Dale gives Andrea her stupid gun back. At the farm, Rick and Herschel are talking about AIDS when Laurie and Maggie turn up on the horse. Rick takes Laurie to see Cole. Laurie and Rick comfort Cole by his bed and talk about the time Shane stole a chicken car or something in high school. I don't know, I wasn't listening. Rick and Laurie talk about if Jenner was perhaps right in blowing himself up. Rick disagrees. Then Glenn and Theodore Douglas arrive at the farm and meet Maggie. They fix up T-Dog's arm and Maggie and Glenn get to know each other. Shane and Otis make it to the place that had the medical supplies that they need. They find the supplies and attempt to escape but are getting overcrowded by the zombies. So Otis sacrifices himself to distract the zombies so Shane can escape with the supplies to save Cole's life. He arrives back at the farm and tells them that Otis died a hero. Herschel ends up saving Cole's life and Shane shaves his head in tribute to Otis's sacrifice because he was bald and stuff, and also wears Otis's clothes in tribute and takes his wife Patricia in tribute, maybe. The next day they have a funeral for Otis. Shane tells them of Otis's heroic sacrifice. Laurie then tells Shane she doesn't want him to leave. Maggie asks Glenn to go on a pharmacy run with Maggie. Daryl heads out to search for Sophia again, and Herschel tells Rick that his group can stay on the farm until Sophia is found and Cole is well enough to travel. He then changes his mind and says they can stay if they follow their rules. Maggie and Glenn head off on their pharmacy trip. They arrive at the pharmacy and Maggie does one sex on Glenn. Daryl returns. He once again did not find Sophia, but he found a nice flower for Carol. Carl wakes up and talks to Rick, so he gives him his hat and Laurie takes a pregnancy test and it's positive. Happy days! The next day, Rick gives the gang new areas to search for Sophia, and guess who wants to help? That's right, it's Jimmy! Yay! Rick and Shane are searching in the woods. Shane tells Rick that he thinks they're wasting their time still searching for Sophia, and that it's likely she's dead. Rick disagrees. Glenn asks Laurie if she has a baby in her. She says yes, but don't tell anyone because it is a secret baby. Rick shows up and tells Laurie he had a long, serious talk with Shane. Laurie has no idea what it could have been about. He tells her about the stuff with Shane and the things. Beth then turns up and says other stuff, so Rick goes and does stuff. Herschel says something horse-related and Jimmy, so Rick agrees. We then cut back to Daryl on a horse. He spots Sophia's doll, but then a snake spooks the horse and it throws Daryl off. He rolls down a hill and impales himself with one of his arrows. He tries climbing out, but isn't having much luck. Then Ghost Mel appears and does some more racism. So Daryl gets up and kills 2 zombies and makes a nice necklace out of their ears, which gives him the power to climb out up the hill while Ghost Mel calls him a little girl. He makes it back to the farm and Andrea almost shoots him in the face. Shane and Rick have an argument about Sophia's doll. Then Maggie gives Glenn a note about where they should do naked stuff. He replies that they should do naked stuff in the barn. Glenn goes to the barn to find that it's full of zombies, which would make sex difficult. Maggie finds him. You weren't supposed to see this, and tells him to keep it a secret. Glenn is having a bit of trouble keeping the barn full of zombies a secret. Rick and Shane take some of the gang out to learn how to shoot. Cole wants to come, but Shane says no. Jimmy holds it side on because he's Jimmy. Andrea does good at shooting. Rick quips that she's probably ready for the advanced class. Shane enjoys this remark. Glenn tells Dale about the zombies in the barn and the babies in the lorry. Dale confronts Herschel about the barn walkers, and Herschel says no. Dale then confronts Laurie about the babies, and Laurie says yes. Rick finds out about the pregnancy and the Shane stuff. The next morning, Glenn tells everyone about the barn full of walkies.
Bah.
Walkers.
Oh,
They then get into a big argument over the walkers in the barn, and Sophia and all the stuff. Dale hides all the guns, but Shane finds them. Herschel and Jimmy teach Rick how to fill the barn with zombies. Shane spots him doing this and does a funny run. He then shoots the zombies that they bring back, and this upsets Jimmy. Shane then opens the barn and they shoot all the zombies. And guess who else was in there? It's Sophia. So Rick shoots her because she's a zombie now. It's very sad and the episode ends.
Bah.